Okay. Hello. Welcome back to Two Broken Thumbs, the only podcast where.
First one's better.
What?
What? Nothing. Go on.
No, I literally didn't hear what you said.
That's cool. Go on.
The only podcast that exists in every multiverse. If you looked into every multiverse, you would see that this is an event that will always happen. We will be here talking about films and other things.
There is no stopping it.
Yeah, exactly. I think, we should switch things up.
Yeah?
I think we should do some small talk first.
Alright.
Listen, last time we small talked for a very long time. I feel like we should do it now to get it out of the way.
Alright.
That way it's not caught in the spoiler section.
Are rolling in still, right?
Exactly. How about them League of Legends, right?
Oh man, is that a real question or?
Do you? I heard something about it, and I've been dying to ask you about it.
Yeah, so I haven't looked like too much into it. My understanding of the long and short of it all is North American players are a bit fed up with the League of Legends, and they decided they don't really want to participate in the summer split of the LCS, which is the LCS is like the North American League, and Riot basically said, okay, then don't. That's okay, because you guys really don't make us that much money. League isn't really getting bigger in North America, and frankly, you guys aren't very good at it either. So
wow.
That's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. We only talk to players who, have diamond or above, but you guys don't seem to even hit gold. So how about you guys get the fuck away from me?
I mean, it is what it is. When your competition is like China and Korea, I'm pretty sure the Chinese mega server has like 100 times the players as the North American server on it.
Jesus Christ.
Like, it's like a, God, the sports terms. It's like a, what is it? A tier 1 or a AAA sports or like school district going against like a really small school district. It's like, yeah, you don't really like.
Why did you use sports analogy to me? You think I know sports analogies?
What other analogy am I gonna give?
You could have been like, it's like putting a steroid-filled school bully.
Of soldiers, and I have a squad of soldiers. Your squad has 10 people, and mine has 1,000, and we're both gonna pick out our best fighter, who's more likely to have the better fighter.
Okay, there you go. See, that makes way more sense to me. I love war. See,
yeah.
As an American, we love war. I mean, that's not where I was going to go with that. I heard something about they added a new champion who is like a child, but also is not a child. Or people got upset about that.
Oh.
I mean, I didn't know about that, and that's pretty funny. Is that who it is?
Maybe.
I remember.
Listen, it's a big game in China and Korea, and I think it's fairly large in Japan. They like to.
They like
of course, here in America. They like to dabble in the lollies. So
unfortunately, that's gross.
Yeah, there's plenty of characters that look like children that are, hundreds of years old, actually, according to the lore.
Fucking. Like.
Is what it is.
I had this discussion a while ago.
They're not taking their clothes off, so it's fine.
I had this discussion a while ago. If you really could live to more than 1,000 years old, why would you want to look like that?
You think there'd probably be like some sort of distinguished middle ground, right?
Right. I mean, I know personally, I would just look as like big and buff as I could. If I can change my features, you kidding me? I would be like Thor-style, big burly man with big honking pecs. Be able
like
to crush.
Mr. O'Hara.
Yeah, be able to crush watermelons with my chest and my ass cheeks.
My thighs.
Bull's Corner, more like Bull's Borner. Anyways. Probably know her. Do you have anything Do you have anything fun to bring to the table? To ask me about?
God, How's the Smash community doing?
Another another Smash player got canceled for being homophobic. and
Okay.
and then it turned out that he has DMs of him messaging a 16-year-old.
Yep, there it is. I saw a screenshot the other day on Twitter. It was
Who?
screenshots of wild TikToks or whatever. And it's just this girl, and the text just says, I wish I had known, or I never realized that
Oh yeah, I know you're
all of
talking
the,
about.
yeah, all the Minecraft YouTubers I was obsessed with when I was 12, I actually had a chance with. Like, oh,
Yeah, I fucking
oof.
remember seeing that. Hold on, I gotta find the player's name. It's something. Okay, why is? Can I seriously not? Discord, what the hell happened? What do you mean? Can I not Google my? Oh, because they changed. Yeah, Discord changed the layout of your name thing, so you can't search by name anymore.
Oh, that's
So
helpful.
that's so cool of them.
Yeah. So I'm trying to search for something. I rarely am searching for something by one specific person, you know?
Right, and also it makes
I
it
kind of
harder
skipped
for
through all
me.
that. What? I don't have a number now. Now I just have a username.
Yeah, now you just have usernames. So now you can have people who have the exact copy of your username instead of having your username and a separate set of numbers. They did that
Interesting.
because. Anyways,
Anyway,
I can't find who the guy's name was because also the chat I'm in is super talkative. Where the hell? Found another duck hunt now. Oh, here we go. Found him. Okay. Zenyu. Zenyu is the guy who I'm talking about. Not no one for you. I think Zenyu is a Mario player. I can't remember exactly, but he's a pretty big player from where he's from. I gotta sneeze. But yeah, that would be the like third this year that was found out for being messaging underage people. So that's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. Smash is surviving well enough. Actually, recently, a player who got banned from playing in tournaments held a tournament with every banned player. Like
all right.
anyone who had like gotten kicked out of the Smash community. Saw the first Spider-Man and Spiderverse the day the second one came out. I'm watching the second one when the third one comes out. Well, Joe, that's not how that works. But yeah, no,
Will Joe's an agent of chaos.
It's so true. I mean, he has the right idea, honestly. But yeah, no, anyone.
Is he ever gonna see the third one? Or...
Oh, actually, that's a great point. Wiljo, how are you gonna watch the third one? But yeah, basically, if anyone committed any sort of like harassment or sexual assault or anything, they were at this tournament.
That's
So,
that's fun.
No. It's so weird. It was just like, it's like a very much a clickbait video. Like he knew it was gonna get like the attention. And he's also a band player too. The guy who did it was a band player too. So he's just doing it because it's like, it makes him get clicks.
Of course.
Which is really shitty, honestly.
Yeah. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, sorry about that, I'm sniffly. I'll watch it when the fourth one releases. That's not...
Oh, well, there it is.
Anyways, but yeah, the Smash community sucks, and I hate it. But I continue to be part of it, so, you know. You win some, you lose some.
I still play League of Legends. We understand each other.
You're not so different from me, Spider-Man.
We're not so different, you and I.
I rewatched that movie recently with Pat.
Oh, look at you.
Well, this month's Spider-Man month, so we were rewatching the Sam Raimi trilogy, and deciding if I'm going to show him Venom or show him No Way Home.
I have a preference between those two.
I mean, No Way Home is better, but Venom is way funnier. Right? Yep. Like the fact that the Venom universe is trying to be canon with everything, but also doesn't want to like fully commit is so funny to me.
It actually shows up in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know how happy I was when that happened?
I was pretty happy too.
Okay, okay.
It's
Well,
like, aw, look at this.
we've beat around the bush long enough. We should talk about the movie now. We got some people here.
All right, all right, all right. So we saw a movie once again.
Don't sound
Uh,
too excited.
sorry. Um, I don't know how I feel about it. Honestly, I'm still wrestling with the emotions.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, yeah, you like that?
I we when I came out of the well, we should explain. We're talking about Across the Spiderverse today, the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, that's the new Into the Spider-Verse movie.
Yes, the part one of the trilogy.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't know that.
Yeah, everyone I've asked so far also didn't know it.
Really?
Yeah.
There was
now,
a
granted, I wasn't like looking into the movie ahead of time or anything, and I didn't really like watch much of the marketing besides what just popped up here and there. But I never saw it, and the other people I've talked to hadn't seen it either. And I've only asked like 3 or 4 other people. But was that like well marketed that it was a part 1?
There was a lot of discussions with the two creators, the two directors, who is Philip Lord and Christian Miller, who you may know for doing. I think one of them did the. Well, they're the writers. I'm pretty sure they were the one who did the Lego movies. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
I want to say they did that. Let's see. They did Clone High, Mitchell's vs. Machines. They do a lot of They did a Lego movie. Oh, Phil Lord was an executive producer on Solo, a Star Wars movie.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's a rough mark on his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems he also was an executive producer of Clone High.
A Solo movie.
Yeah. I forgot he did Clone High. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think is Christian Miller the Lego? Well, I mean, they both. I think they both did Legos. And that's what. Yeah, they both did Legos. Okay. And they're also the producers of the first Spiderverse,
right.
Which makes sense. I heard it has incomplete first part syndrome. Yeah, So this was marketed as a 2-parter. Like this is gonna be like it was gonna be a solo. Like let me phrase that. It was gonna be one movie. They had planned to make it one whole movie, but the directors were both like, "We have so many ideas, we have to split it into 2. Otherwise, it's gonna be like a 4-hour experience." And I like Spiderverse. I like the first one a lot. I rewatched it recently for this movie, and was so excited. Like I enjoyed my time with the rewatch. But the idea of it being for 4 hours, I'm like,
Bit much, eh?
Yeah, I don't mind it being a 2-parter. I guess I'm less mad about this one being a 2-part. There's another movie that was marketed as like it wasn't a movie, it was a game. Final Fantasy VII remake was marketed as the full Final Fantasy VII game, and then it was just the opening beginning part.
Yeah.
So like I can see if you're not looking in the marketing, that can be kind of frustrating. But I mean, I don't want to talk about the ending, but I really like the way it ended, the cliffhanger it had upon it.
Oh, I think it's a good cliffhanger.
It's a fantastic.
I was just
you were just shocked.
Surprised. Yeah. I'm not like I don't think I'm like actually upset about it. Or at least not now at least, but I was like, huh. Guess I just didn't
like they're building and building and building and then they stop and you're like, wait, huh?
Well, I was laying in the theater, or not laying, I was sitting in the theater and I was like, this is like this is taking a while to get through, and they got to be wrapping it up pretty soon, eh? Because we got to be coming up on that 3-hour mark, and there's still stuff to be done. But yeah, alas.
Yeah, no, I felt the exact same way. We're not getting to spoilers yet, but yeah, like watching the ending, you're like, wait, no, you can't end like that.
Okay.
But
well, it's funny. It's a cliffhanger. I'm like, oh, here's a few, like, here's some stuff I'm interested in. All right, that's about to pick up. Good. And then it ends, and you're like, oh.
Wait. So, I mean, we could talk. We should start from. I mean, we're starting at the end, but we should start at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, let's do it.
I was
Let's
not.
crack right into it.
I was not expecting the Gwen Stacy to start. I really like that though.
I wasn't expecting it either.
Mhm.
There's been some discussion online on if she gets like too much screen time, and I don't really think that's a thing.
No,
I think it's fine.
I think because she had the most rapport with Miles, seeing how she's been without him is really important to set everything in motion. Because her missing him and then, the whole idea of her being able to go see him again kind of sets off this chain reaction of like disaster.
Mm-hmm.
So having her perspective is very good, especially considering that we get to see the beautiful art style that is the world she lives in.
Oh no.
Like the pastel acrylics coloring is such a cool design, right?
I didn't really like it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want to like try to. I don't feel comfortable like speaking to if I think it's necessarily bad, but when it was getting started, I was like, geez, is this how the last one looked? Because I don't love this look very much at all. And then, it eventually we move on to Miles' World, and I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. All right,
Yeah,
that
you're
now
like,
looks
oh, that
perfect.
this. I remember this.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this
We'll
is
get to
better.
that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, but no, I didn't. I don't know. Like you said,
The
the acrylic
one,
style, I just didn't work really well for me. I thought, I don't know.
the one time I raised an eyebrow for that was when it was showing like daytime and the sky was just this pure white. I was like, not really a big fan of how that looked because it was very jarring compared to all the other colors.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have done like something different, like either like a very pastel blue pink mixture to give it that sort of coloring of the sky feel. Because then at night it's that dark blue, which I really enjoyed. Right. But it was very, how do I describe the style of it was very loose because nothing really had a solid shape. Everything kept changing color. But to me, it was kind of like a way to show the character's scene and emotions. There's a really well done scene where, so Gwen is like doing her Spider Woman thing, when suddenly she sees someone from another dimension, like fucking, I think it's the Vulture, right?
Yeah.
The Vulture is like fucking up an art museum, and he's from like the Renaissance era, and he's talking about how like this art is shitty, and it was pretty fun. It was a pretty fun scene. But like, her dad discovers that she's Spider Woman, and she tries to have this very emotional moment with him, trying to be like, "Hey, I didn't kill him. What are you doing? You can't do this." And it shows like a scene where he is surrounded by black, and on both sides of him is pure white, while he's also surrounded by like a blue and red color. And I really liked that shot because it like gave that sense of like he has a strict order. He has like he's personally trapped by his own rules while also showing just how rigid it is. Because everything else on Gwen's side was a more rougher, like the coloring was mixed in together. His was just straight. And I think that's really a well done way to show how both characters are feeling in the moment on top of the acting itself.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think the color palettes are really cool, but with it being very loose, I can see how it's very jarring. Especially because when we get out of there, it's then the normal color world again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all totally fair.
I think a lot of it just comes down to a matter of perspective. Like if you don't enjoy a certain aesthetic, that's fine, but you can't knock how much time it took to make those, like the style.
Oh yeah. No, I wouldn't.
I think it took 1,000 animators or something for this movie.
That sounds about right.
And then I think one character took 6 years to animate by himself, which is fucking wild.
Yeah, because they've been working on this one for like you said, like 6 years now.
Yeah,
It does look really good. A lot of it, not the beginning for me, but like
Mhm.
throughout the rest of the movie, I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty top tier. This reminds me of Arcane. Like
Mhm.
really good stuff.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed um, going back into Miles' world and like seeing that stark transition. It was very eye opening. I'm trying to remember a lot from the beginning because I was really enamored by the middle and the end. I vaguely remember like the steps it takes to get there. Um, but I think the thing that most people are talking about, because I think you talked about it, you feel like this movie's bloated and a little long.
Yeah, I didn't really feel that way during the first part, but second, I guess you could say
Really,
like second and third act especially.
I feel like it's trying to set up a lot. Like
I
it's
agree.
doing a lot of legwork to build this world, and I
I
think
guess
it.
it's not nearly like Zack Snyder Justice League levels of bloated or anything like
God
that.
no.
But I could um I could definitely be convinced that the two parts were meant to be one movie, and then they like got signed off. You can have two movies,
Mm.
and they were like, oh okay, all right. Well, now we got like. I feel as though they had enough stuff for like a movie and a half, so now making two movies out of it, it's gonna have to be a little slower and a little bit more spread out. Because the first one, at least from what I remember, I didn't give it a rewatch, unfortunately. I
Mm.
haven't seen it in like a year or two. But from what I remember, it moves along. Like it gets going. I think it's only
Yeah,
2 hours or like just
there's
slightly less.
there's one scene where it kind of like stops to do stuff, and that's when Peter dies, and like Miles is kind of trying to find out how to use his powers and doesn't really get it.
Hmm.
I feel like there's a little slow part there. But I've been describing this movie to people as this is a great movie, and to me at least, one of the few perfect sequels we have.
Yeah.
Like it does. You've seen Schaeferless, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He had a whole video talking about Shrek 2 and how it's like a perfect sequel and all the things it does to help the franchise out. It
Yeah.
expands the world in a way that makes sense, where it makes sense that more spider people are out there, and it makes sense that the collider absolutely fucked up time entirely.
Yeah.
Um, it recontextualizes a lot, which I'll get into because I need to talk about all of the things that it changed and like the little details that really are impressive. It
Hmm.
recontextualizes a lot of the first movie, um, and I feel like it does leave an impact because it just kept pushing the boundary of what the animation style could be. It kept changing, and the characters all felt different and unique, and it just feels like everything is what it needs to be to live up to the original.
I gotcha. Well, you already kind of know I'm not totally sold on it, but maybe my eyes need to be opened up to a few things. So this will be good. I'm
And I
excited
can I
to
can
get into it.
also tell you all the things that like it like brings back into the discussion from the first movie that like kind of makes you go, oh shit. Um,
Yeah, I know
yeah,
about the one big one for sure, but
yeah. The
like with the
spoil,
spider.
yeah, the spider. Yeah, we can talk about that here in a second.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries.
But
But
we could
yeah, I'm excited to hear what else you got.
the spot the like so Miles is currently like doing his thing. We already knew there were multiple spider people in the first one. I don't think the second one explored that. Well, no, what it did is it explored the idea that that there are anomalies and that things were going awry because of the collider, and it makes sense that somebody would try to fix it.
It sort of, I don't know, it gave me the sense that like it was an accident in the first one because of the
Mm-hmm.
collider, but then like once at the end of the movie, like the problem was solved and everyone just goes back home and like carries on.
But unfortunately, there's also the thing where because this is also connected to No Way Home, there's
Well,
loosely, but it still is.
they mention it, yeah.
I mean, Donald Glover's in it. Do you remember?
Yeah, but he's not the same character that he was in Homecoming,
I think he's supposed to be. That was like the whole thing about
right?
his character. His
Oh,
whole, his whole thing was that in that movie, Homecoming, he was supposed to be he's supposed to become the Prowler because he mentions how he has a cousin in Brooklyn, and that's referencing his cousin Miles.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a cool
All
little
right,
detail.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really cool little
Okay,
detail.
neat little detail. I
Mhm.
like it.
And anyways, back
Look
to
at that. Movie's already getting better. Here we
yeah,
go.
yeah. There you go. The idea that there's multiple Spider-Man makes sense to me that are all trying to fix all the weird shit that's happening. Especially given the fact of Miles' character, which we'll get to, Wiljo. We'll get to. There's a big reason why the thing happened. Nephew,
Yeah,
not cousin, right?
It follows to me if there are still long-term consequences from the first movie, which there probably should be,
Right.
then people would still be trying to solve it.
Um.
Or Spider-Man specifically would be getting back together and looking
Right.
to solve it.
And speaking of the collider, the spot. So yeah, Miles is like out doing his own thing, trying to just get ready to meet with his parents for a school thing. When the spot, a guy who has been that way for supposedly now a year, is the first thing he tries to do is rob a bank, or not rob a bank. He robs an ATM machine from just like a what is it, like a not even a gas station, right?
Oh, it's just like a convenience store.
Yeah, and I fucking love that character's whole starting thing of him like trying to figure out how this works, how the powers work, how his gimmick works in the middle of fighting, and it very clear he's not a physical fighter. He's just a dude that can make holes.
Mm-hmm.
I really
Well, it's like
yeah.
We've played through Portal. Like,
Right.
there's a lot you can do with that.
There's a ton to do, and he's trying to figure it out as he's going. And he's also supposedly also a scientist, so he's able to like kind of figure that out as he's going along. And the fight is a very fun little back and forth, kind of setting up the Spot's character, also putting Miles in a certain position. Like him trying to balance both his school life and superheroing.
Yeah, something we've definitely seen before, like especially in the Raimi Spider-Man. Like him trying to get something done, but then the hero stuff gets in the way again.
The pizza time.
The pizza time, exactly.
Yeah, the pizza time is. I can't not wait for Pat to see the pizza time. He's going to absolutely pog.
Oh yeah, as he should.
But yeah, I like how they do it in this movie, where he's trying to talk to his dad while also dodging all of the Spot's attacks and trying to figure out how to hit him and how to defeat him. And it's a very fun opening set piece to show that Miles has at least improved a lot since we last saw him.
Yeah, he seems to mostly have his stuff together. Mistakes here and there, but nothing wild. Like he's like I said, mostly got it together.
Yeah, absolutely. And he eventually does meet with his parents, and like there's some clear tension between the family at this point. And it's kind of explained why, because Miles is obviously hiding the fact that he's Spider-Man. He doesn't want to admit that to his parents, obviously. And like there's just this like energy between everyone that's just very tense, but they're still looking out for each other.
Yeah.
He made a YouTuber apology. Oh, right, that's right. I forgot he made. I completely forgot there was like a whole spiel about how he made two YouTube apology videos, which was fucking hilarious.
That's turn the camera on, show yourself walking away, sitting down in the chair.
Yeah.
Would have had extra points if there was a puppy.
Absolutely. I love how you had to apologize for the mustache. That's just so silly.
I know what you're thinking. I miss the old Spider-Man.
Also, Insomniac's version of Spider-Man is also is in this movie too. His roommate's playing it when he goes to get changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a nice little detail. He made a continuous lapse. In judgment. It was so true. But he has this like discussion with his parents, and I was expecting his mom and dad to get more character in this movie, but I guess it does make sense since his dad's the captain, and that's a very big plot point. But his mom getting a lot more attention was very nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moments where they speak to each other in Spanish, and there's no subtitles or anything, and I feel like I like that because it feels more intimate with the two of them talking. I think that's a very cute little moment between the two as they kind of chit chat, and he tries to open himself up to her.
Yeah, I agree. And it always seems like even if you don't know exactly what they're saying, like you know well enough what they're trying to communicate to each other.
Absolutely. Eventually, I think doesn't Gwen does come back to that universe after he gets in trouble. They go out and kind of swing around the city for a bit, which is a very fun scene. I really like the shot and the shots and everything, and the sort of movement that they play with.
Yeah, I agree. All of the we've already said plenty of times, and we're gonna say it more. The animation's gorgeous in this movie, and it certainly doesn't fail when they are moving around in their Spider-Man ways.
Yeah. Oh wow! As a runtime of 2 hours and 20 minutes, this is the longest American animated film to date. That's crazy.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, they go out. They have some fun. They do some hopping around, but it's very clear Gwen is there for other reasons. Um, Heads out, and his mom is like, "Hey, yeah, go to her. Go check. Go follow her. I'm sure she's not doing anything nefarious."
She seems a nice girl.
Yeah. I love how that every time like they set up like I don't like it when people call me by their first name and then she immediately calls them by their first name. They're like, okay, bad start.
Okay. Called me that, all right, nice.
Yeah, so she goes to where the Spot's lab is, and she's a little late on the draw there, because he figures out how to make more spots, and it's by going to you can go to other dimensions, which he finds out by being beaten by Spider-Man or by Miles Spider-Man, whatever, you know what I'm saying. And he falls into himself. And he has this fun little scene where he goes into other dimensions and kind of pokes his head out. And one of them was a Lego dimension.
Yeah, that was funny.
Do you know about that one? That was a last-minute addition.
Oh no, then I don't know.
Someone made a Lego trailer for this movie. Like they made an entire trailer out of Legos, like stop motion Lego animation. That the directors found so impressive, they hired the 14-year-old to make a stop motion Lego scene for the movie.
So, I love that.
Yeah, literally a 14-year-old made a whole Lego section for this movie. And I love even more how, like, in that world, he makes the beeps and boops himself, like they do in the Lego movie.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. He just went beep boop beep. I was just so surprised that like I'm proud for that kid. That's so impressive. That's what you should do with people like that. He's gonna have an insane art school application. Have you seen the trailer?
No.
All right, I'm gonna send it to you.
All right. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah. Well, he just like the amount of detail he did was really impressive. There you go. Got it. I don't care if war is coming to Russia. That's not my problem right now. Stop posting that on my timeline. I keep getting videos of this guy who keeps talking about the Russia-Ukraine situation. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Russia's fucking up. Stop telling me this. I'm aware.
Doing another goof.
Yeah, alright, send it to you.
Cool. I'll take a look, see.
Yeah. It's really impressive. But yeah, he did this whole Lego set, which was very fun. There's a scene where the Spot visits the Venom universe, which was very silly, and I like that scene very much so. Because I'm a sucker for the Venom movie. It's bad, but it's the best kind of bad.
I'm a big fan of the first one.
And the second one's also funny, but it's not as funny as the first.
I don't like it as much.
Yeah. I constantly think about just how dumb the plot is and how like ridiculous it gets. Are you checking? What do you think of it?
So far I'm really liking it.
Yeah, it's really well done.
You can definitely recognize like the scenes from the movie.
Yeah, and it's just impressive for someone that young to be able to do all that. He's got some real talent. I'm glad that he got recognized for it.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, that whole scene of like Miguel finding out about the spot and how he's like fucking with time. Gwen is too late to stop him, and he starts dimension hopping. And we didn't set this character up earlier, but Miguel and do you remember the female's name? I don't remember her name at all. They said it, but I don't. I have bad memory.
I don't remember her name at all.
Let's see.
You guys
Parker
find a
Miguel
woman for now if you want.
Yeah, was it Jessica Drew? Is that her name?
That sounds right.
I don't want to. Yep, that's Jessica Drew. Yep. Jessica Drew is a Spider Woman, and her whole thing is that she's driving in a motorcycle. Because she has like a kid on the way, so she's trying not to be too aggressive. A lot of people were not happy with that concept. I think it was fine.
The whole pregnancy bit?
Yeah. Because it's
a little goofy, but I mean...
Yeah, but it's also very clear she's trying to take care of herself physically, because she herself is not physically moving around. Like, she's not pushing her body. She's like riding the vehicle to do a lot of the work for her. Which makes sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much stake in this one.
Yeah. If they have a reason for it, then that's great. For now, it's just like, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But she gets set up, and she reports to Gwen, or Gwen reports to her, being like, "Hey, oops, you are the biggest Venom universe simp I've ever seen." Twitter was weirdly, Twitter was weirdly angry about that. They're also angry at Miles. We talked about this a little before the podcast, where they're like, "No, he's not Spider-Man," because I guess Fortnite called him Spider-Man.
People have been saying Miles Morales is Spider-Man forever.
Yeah.
Again, like...
It's just people trying to fight a war that doesn't exist.
He hits the beats well enough that
Yeah.
I'd be fine with people calling him Spider-Man, and he also has enough differences that if you don't think that's Spider-Man and you think it's a totally different character, that's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like a, racist thing.
The fiction baby is gonna be fine. That's so true. Why do we have to worry about the fictional baby? It's gonna be okay. The baby.
Why do we worry about any of the fiction characters?
Hold on, you're onto something there.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't, of course.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm all burned, but no.
I hate babies, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
They eventually find that the spot is at another universe. Gwen goes there, and Miles, being the massive simp that he is,
massive simp,
quickly follows behind, like just goes in there with her, and then he's in this other dimension now, and immediately Gwen's like, "Ah, fuck!" Like, she clearly wasn't supposed to see him. She got like ridiculed for it. But they go in this new world, and we find, as Twitter has put it, the one Spider-Man who isn't depressed. Finally, a Spider-Man that has nothing wrong with his life.
Yeah, this one's just chilling.
His name.
Having a good old time.
Oh God. Petriv.
His name, just so we're clear.
Petriv Prabricker. Oh my God. Cancel me. Fucking cancel me. Indian Spider-Man, basically.
Indian Spider-Man.
And I love this world's design.
I liked this one a lot.
Yeah, the sort of like, I'm looking at a screenshot of it right now. The sort of like rough coloring, like the rough lines. The lines are very like clearly drawn in. Like there's like a shape to things, but it's the coloring that I like, where it's like it's supposed to be this color, like it's a vague color. I don't really know how else to describe it, but it's a nice color palette. The design of him himself is super cool. The way that instead of using like spider webs, he uses rope is super neat. Like the design of him in total is just so cool.
Yeah.
He's happy. He's very cheerful.
He talks about how like everything's going great and like he
Yeah.
doesn't have to try that hard in school and still doing great. Yeah.
He's just like, he really is just the best version of himself. So based.
Mhm.
Uh, and like the shots of them moving around in this world too was just so cool and impressive. Um, but as they go through, the Spot eventually finds the super collider, makes some more spots on himself, and everything starts going fucked.
Mhm.
I think the big thing that really messed things up was there's a scene where the captain that they mentioned briefly at the beginning, they're like, oh yeah, here's the captain. I'm totally not dating the captain's daughter. It's just a very friendly relationship between the two characters. I'm not dating her. She's in a bus that's about to crash, and the captain's trying to save a child. Classic Spider-Man situation. We've seen this done 1,000 times. We know what happens here. Miles, however, steps in to try and save the day. Gwen tries to stop him, but he doesn't do anything. He saves the captain, and then an anomaly begins to happen. Like, the world begins to get a little fucky. We don't really get why at the moment, but as the story progresses, we sort of get why. And at that point, I think also Hobie's here at this point too, right?
Yeah.
The like
Toby joins us
the British Spider-Man who has been alluded to so far.
He's always got a guitar.
Yeah, and fuck, what a cool character. God. Like, his whole thing about him being against the establishment but also still being established as a Spider-Man is so silly.
Yeah.
No, not Kobe.
Really just fun to watch.
Yeah, he's fun to watch move. I think his frames like 3 frames per second. And it always
it's way lower.
Yeah. Which makes sense considering like his sort of like not with the establishment design. No, his name's Hobie, Hobie. Yeah, Hobie's design is just super unique and super cool to watch. While also being like a self-commentary on the idea of not being part of a group, but is also still part of a group. I think even Miles brings up the fact of like, wait, you're not into labels, but you still label yourself.
Yeah, does he address that or does he just dodge? I can't remember.
I think he dodges it, which is even cooler.
Yeah.
He's so cool for that.
I was like, we're just having fun with this guy, aren't we?
Yeah, he's just a fun character. Yeah, Hobie gets established. Miles saves the captain. The time starts becoming fucky, and and Jessica comes by and goes like, "All right, all of you in here, come on, you're in trouble. Come on, let's go." And this is when we get introduced to the whole Spider-Verse like world of Nueva York. Now, this is Miguel O'Hara's actual like timeline. Miguel O'Hara in the comics, his whole thing is that he gets powers from not a bite, but from a serum, and he doesn't actually have spider senses.
Oh.
He instead has like he has advanced senses, but he doesn't have anything. He's picture like Daredevil, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay.
So he doesn't have spider sense specifically, but he has like he has better smell, he has better sight. In the comics, he has to wear sunglasses to avoid the exposure to the sun. Like,
he does.
well, not exposure to this. He's kind of a vampire. He doesn't drink blood per se, but he has like claws. He's a very unique design for a Spider-Man. He's very different from like every other Spider-Man design, which is kind of cool. Honestly, kind of cool for that.
I like him.
Yeah, he's really cool. But he sort of has this established world of spider people that all they basically do is try to fix any anomalies.
The Citadel of Spider People.
Is this the same one from the old cartoon? No, it is not the same one. No. Yeah, basically the Citadel of Spider-Man. This is like the cameo moment where a bunch of characters we've seen before, or have they've been in other movies or TV shows are now here. As I mentioned earlier, the one with the Prowler from What was his name? I already forgot.
Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover. Well, he was in Community, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like the running
He's
gag.
also in Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh yeah, he
Somehow
was.
That movie's come up twice today.
Yeah, that's weird. I do like the fact that like people have been making jokes about how Donald Glover is like the thing that kicked off all of the Spider-Man stuff. Because apparently he's also in the adventure, or the Amazing Spider-Man 2. He's like, there's like a photo frame of him in one of the scenes where you can see like it's like a blink or you'll miss it sort of photo frame of him in the Spider-Man costume.
Huh.
Which I think is very cute.
Yeah, I like it.
Finally, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 gets 1 point. He is also a cameo in the first Spider-Verse? Wait, really? Wait, is he a cameo in that movie too? Donald Glover Spider. No, I only see him in the second one. I don't see him in the first one. I don't remember if he was in the first one or not.
Deep cameo.
Yeah, I would probably have oh, wait, was it? Yeah, as a clip from Community wearing a Spider-Man suit. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Oh, right, yeah, because there was a community board. I completely forgot they had, like, in Peter B. Parker's world, they had like a thing for Community. I completely forgot about that. That's right. Thank you for reminding me, Wiljo. Good job. Good work. 1 gold star. But like at this point, like Miles is realizing like basically every other Spider-Man has been in this place now except for him. And the reason, it turns out, major spoilers, so here's spoilers from here on out. Hey Cole, remember to fucking put the time in this time.
Yeah.
It turns out, waiting. That Miles wasn't supposed to become a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which raises a lot of questions, and this brings up the whole thing you mentioned about the spider. Because you'd mentioned the spider was being finicky.
Yeah, I think they've already established that if you're in a universe that isn't your own, you kind of glitch every once in a while.
Yeah.
And the spider did that in the first movie, but
Correct.
it seemed more like, I think its goal was to just make you think that it was a weird spider. It
But
didn't
now
seem to like have any deeper meaning than that.
But now it has the added mention of like it being from another universe.
Right.
Which they do that also with the Spot, which in a very funny way. The bagel. There's a bit in the first one where Miles throws a bagel at somebody. It turns out that was the second head scientist who worked with Doc Ock, and ended up being trapped inside the collider and became the Spot. Like, him having the bagel toss at him is like kind of like icing on the cake and everything. And I'm just gonna say it. If I had a nickel for every time that someone who could travel through dimensions had to deal with a bagel, this is the second time it's happened.
Have 2 times, which isn't a lot.
It happened in Everything Everywhere. Remember the Everything Bagel? And now this guy has the bagel thing. It's so silly. What's up with bagels?
We're up to 2 now. Bagels, dude.
I do like that though, because there's been memes now where Miles throws the bagel at him, and then it plays the Prowler theme, and it's just like a close-up of the Spot. Which, speaking of, by the way, I didn't talk about this, but another really cool detail is there's a shot in it where, like, when the collider happens and he's covered in that black goo, there's the shot where he's posed in, like, this weird body position. It's the exact same position as Miles's No Expectations graffiti.
Right.
Which I think is so fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because we haven't really talked about it, but the Spot's whole thing is that everyone keeps making fun of him for being like this quote unquote villain of the week. And he's kind of going down a similar journey as Miles, of the idea of like no one has any expectations for this version of him, but he's becoming this all-powerful character. Meanwhile, Miles has people have like these high hopes for him, this great admiration for what he can be, but he doesn't really want to be what people make him to be. And I feel like that's a very fun like correlation between the two characters.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Do you like the Spot at all? Do you like him as a character? Do you feel like he's too much for this movie?
I guess I thought it was a little. I wasn't ever really well, not ever. I wasn't really sure what to think about him because at first I was like, oh, this is like a fun like side villain that we're gonna deal with here, and he's got like cool powers, so like it'll give Spider-Man plenty of opportunities to like do interesting things and quip around and that sort of thing. But then like he didn't go away and he kept getting stronger, so I was like, oh, all right, I guess he's in for the long haul. So I guess overall I like him, but I just thought like tonally I wasn't really sure what I was meant to get out of him until like
till later
explosion.
Yeah, I really, really, really loved the backstory scene, like the black and white style, like the rough drawing. Once again, just very cool way to show off what happened to him and how he became the way he is.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of design is just I don't know. I'm always a fan of that like sort of I want to say like paperback kind of style to it.
Yeah, they're never not going as hard as they can with the animation.
No, and I think that's they're going as hard as they can. Yeah, it's fucking.
As they should be.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy? This movie only has $100 million budget.
Oh.
Like, think about that for a second. I'm pretty sure Guardians had more, and I can't imagine how. Volume 3 budget. We'll check that. I'm pretty sure it was more. It was $250 million for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That's insane. Like,
yeah, that, huh?
Yeah, isn't that strange?
Animation can't be cheap, right?
No, not especially how much work they put into this. They did. So I was looking into it, and people are like, "This is how you make a movie without using any AI tools." Blah 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 blah. It turns out they did. They used some AI tools to help with like line art and everything. So I guess that does sort of help with the process. But honestly, I don't see it as a bad thing.
Right.
If you have the tools, you should absolutely use them to your advantage. Because AI isn't just creating art. It's, in this situation at least, it's advancing and helping with the process.
Right.
Which is how it should be used.
Yeah, as a tool.
Mm-hmm. Fuck, where were we at this point? We were talking about, we had a little talk
I guess
about
we
spots.
haven't really had a great introduction for, what is it? Not Spider-Man. Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah, Miguel. Yeah, Miguel's whole thing is that he realized that fucking with the timeline is bad. As well as like there are set canon events. They established that there are canon events that make each Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. The one that they point to in this movie is Uncle Ben has to die. Like someone close to them has to die, and they have to have a moment where they have to choose between the police captain or the love of their life. Because Miles fucked up the Indian Spider-Man's timeline because he was able to save both. Now an anomaly has been created. This is not how things were supposed to go. What's interesting is Miguel explains how he tried to go into a timeline where his family was still alive and he could still be happy, yada yada yada. But then the timeline started to fall apart in a very similar way as like the glitch effect happened. But the one we see with Indian Spider-Man's was this like black void. So it's interesting to me. I mean, people have theorized this, and I'm kind of with it. I think Miguel is hiding something. Like, there's clearly something that Miguel isn't telling everybody. Because think about it like this: like, it's yes, there's canon events that always are going to happen. That makes sense. That's like how all the threads connect together. But now you have to think about every single Spider-Man that doesn't exist in this like facility, basically. Like there has to be some that disagree with Miguel's beliefs, or some that clearly aren't in agreement with how Miguel behaves. So there's got to be something that we're not being told here, that they're saving for reveal.
Yeah, I imagine you're probably correct. Just so, like, even just necessarily says we have enough plot to carry on with a whole
Yeah.
other movie. Yeah.
Plus, a lot of them start to turn on Miguel by the end of the movie, and I think that's pretty important to setting up for the third movie. Not to mention that this is the part where we see Peter B. Parker again, like the original, the one from the first movie.
Yeah.
Vampires usually have mind control powers. That's so true. And this is another thing that people got really upset about, was how they did Peter B. Parker. Oh, people were like, oh, that's not how he would behave. This is so against the comics and blah 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 blah. In the comics, like,
I don't give a shit about the comics.
so there's a rule in Spider-Man comics that Peter Parker can never have a happy life. He has to
Yeah,
always,
they hate that.
yeah.
Okay.
If there's ever a moment where Peter is married to Gwen, something has to happen that resets the timeline so he can't be with her anymore.
Mhm.
So the fact that this movie has a Peter B. Parker who's not only happily married but has a kid, that throws off any complaints people have. Like people who think that because this Peter Parker is too happy that it breaks the canon and that it's stupid aren't understanding what they're doing with this movie. The point is that he's clearly overjoyed and overexcited about his kid, which to the point where he shoves his child in front of Miguel as he's explaining how he lost his daughter, which is really funny to think about. Like, Miguel's going like, I lost everything. I lost my wife, my child, my everything. And Peter B. Parker comes in, he was like, look at my baby. Look at the photos of my child. I have a baby. Look at her.
Yeah.
It's like, bro.
Like, all right now. Come on.
I just think it's very cute. I think Peter B. Parker's done very well in this movie. He still has this very, like, snarky personality. He's very laid back still. But he has someone he has to take care for now. And he's also one of the only characters that during the chase scene that's about to happen, like, stops to talk to Miles. Like, to actually, like, try to discuss with him. Oh yeah, Spider-Man fans popping off over Mary Jane's kids getting deleted. I completely forgot about that. There's, in the new comics, Mary Jane's married to some other dude, and apparently some time thing happened. So now her kids are just gone from existence.
Oh.
Well, yeah, they just like faded into out of existence.
Just like vanished.
Yeah. I don't get why, but people are posting it going, let's fucking go! And it's just the comic panel, and I'm like, huh? Ooh.
Well, all right, guys. Not unhinged.
Yeah, it was a very strange thing to pop off for. I mean, kudos to you if that's what makes you happy, but also like, bro?
To each their own.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, Miles is like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe you're thinking that I'm a mistake. I had my, like, he even points out his Uncle Aaron died. But Miguel's like, yeah, he wasn't supposed to die. Which is so weird, because then that means, like, everything in Miguel's timeline at this point should be fucked up, too. Like, there should be multiple anomalies happening in his timeline, yet it's still okay. Which is another reason why people think that Miguel's theory isn't true.
Well, I imagine that's what it's got to be, right?
What's up?
Because that. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I figure Miguel's theory kind of has to be untrue, right? Because it'd be really lame if, like, he goes on this whole arc and at the end it's just like, nope, no matter what you did, like, Uncle Aaron's gonna die, police chief's gonna die, Gwen is not gonna work out. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it feels too much of a doomer mentality almost.
Right.
Like, if it suggests that everything you do doesn't matter, And Miles is like, no, that's fucking bullshit. That's horse shit. No way.
Well, then I actually said on the drive home to my mom, I was like, I feel like Terminator did it better.
I think it's not true because Toei Spider doesn't follow the police chief rule. It's true. Oh yeah, hey, by the way, the Toei Spider-Man just got into a death battle. Did a death battle cast episode between Toei Spider-Man and what's the Batman? What the fuck? Adam West Batman,
Oh.
which I think is very silly. A very campy fight.
Which one's the Toei Spider-Man?
That's the one, the Japanese Spider-Man that has the guns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the gun Spider-Man.
Hey, maybe it just hasn't happened yet.
That's true. That's true. I do like because now like a chase scene ensues because Obi explains to Miles that to do your electric powers, to use your full palm instead of just your fingertips, which is pretty cool. And then comes back. They do the rule of threes a lot in this movie, by the way. They set that up 2 times, then he releases them the 3rd time. They set up the idea of the spider being from another universe twice, and then do a 3rd thing with it. I think they also do another 3 rule thing, but they really like the rules of 3 in this movie, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, it's for the better.
Yeah,
Makes it very consumable for your audience, which is
absolutely.
Movie's very well received.
Yeah, I mean, it should be. I mean, it was highly anticipated. There was a lot of excitement for it. And the moment of Miles like running away from every single Spider-Man is so fun to watch. So when you were saying that you feel like this movie was like slow, was it because of Miguel's whole thing?
No.
You said like between the middle and end, it felt like kind of long.
I felt like I'm gonna have a hard time pulling out like a specific example, but I feel like the conversations with Miles and his parents felt repetitive.
I get you. The concept of him like struggling to tell them something.
Yeah, like I guess like repetitive, and like if they didn't seem like they were really spaced out, or like events really separated them.
Yeah, like they had to like rush through it at the beginning to then, because you don't really he doesn't really get to see them till the end.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it feels like you have to rush through it, but also you don't. It doesn't feel. It also feels like we've repeated a few things. It's like I don't know an example. Like when you have homework you need to do, and it's like 100 questions, but they're all just basic addition questions. So you're like, wait, you'll know I have this right after 10 questions, but we're like, feels like we gotta keep doing it for some reason.
Yeah, like when you were in school, you had like the quick math quizzes you had to do.
Yeah.
Fuck those things, by the way. What was the point of those? Like, wow, I could write a number really quickly.
I guess just I don't know.
Like,
But yeah, better at doing your like mental math quick.
This is the part where you should teach me how to do taxes. Beep 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 beep.
Yeah, there you go.
He's just 7-year-old how to do taxes. That'll go great.
But granted, I going into this, I didn't super feel like I was in the right mindset. Like I wasn't all like giddy and bubbly like I was for the first Spiderverse movie when we went and saw it together.
Yeah.
So I was like a little worried about that. But I don't know, just like like you said, the second part, well, the parent stuff felt slow and a bit repetitive, and then you're also right, like some of the Miguel stuff felt pretty low.
Yeah, it felt like it had to make a quick pit stop to be like, oh right, we have to explain everything. This is how the multiverse works.
Yeah.
And I do like how even Miguel's like, all right, let's explain this to the kid, and I'm like, oh, all right, I guess we're doing this now.
I wonder if there would be like a more efficient way to go about it.
I don't. Maybe like
it would require a lot more thought.
Yeah. There's also this.
Also,
yeah.
I might be holding this movie to a standard that is a bit too high.
How so?
Well, it's just I'm a really big fan of the first one. This is like miles upon miles higher than or better than.
Get it?
yes, haha.
Got him.
Way better. There, see. Now I gotta censor myself than anything that Marvel's put out recently.
Oh
So,
my god,
fun.
dude! I went to go. Okay, little side tangent.
Go for it.
I was jokingly, I was gonna. Pat and I want to watch Ratatouille because Pat's never seen it before. Now it's Pat's favorite Pixar movie. Good.
Yeah,
Great.
rightfully so. It's great.
Yeah, fantastic movie. So I jokingly was gonna throw in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I was like, yeah, we're gonna watch Quantumania. Yeah, woo! And I skipped ahead to just a random moment because I was just curious to see what it was like. Apparently,
Well,
the
this seems
complaint.
like a fun game.
Apparently, the complaint I had made about Guardians 3 with it changing the aspect ratio also happens in this movie.
Huh.
Like, did you see Quantumania?
Nope.
Okay, there's like a scene. There's a scene where they're talking and they're chit-chatting in a really bad like green screen environment. And then he goes, "Well, if this guy's here and you're here, he's looking for you. You gotta run." And then the next shot, it's a full screen shot of a CG thing coming at them, and now they have to run really fast. And I'm like, wait, did they? It just changed the camera, like it changed the aspect ratio for no reason. Like, how many other movies did this happen with Thor 2? Like, have people just stopped paying attention to that? I can't, because I asked my friends about it too, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Cole. You're crazy." I feel like I'm being gaslit. I feel like I'm fucking crazy.
I mean, some people aren't gonna pick up on that as well, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, the Kane actor getting canceled. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Well, that was not true, right? Like he was found innocent.
Like the accusation?
Yeah.
I don't know how that played out.
I'm pretty sure I remember looking into it that he was innocent or found innocent.
There's no way they already had like a trial. Did she say that she made it up or?
His innocence was proven through CCTV footage.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Wait, is that the right? Who rose to fame in his role of HBO series Lovecraft Country before cast as King Conqueror. He was arrested in March of Manhattan on charge of misdemeanor assault and harassment. What happened to him? He was released on charges of strangulation, assault, and harassment of the girl who was with him at. Oh no, okay. So he wasn't found innocent. He was just released. Ah, okay, good.
Ah, all right.
Ah, see, we have a Flash situation.
Yay. I gotta see Flash.
I'm going to go see Spiderverse and then stumble my way into the Flash movie.
Ah, I see.
Yes. I'm going to go to the good multiverse movie and then see the Flash. Because no shot in hell. I guess we could talk about this real quick.
I love that multiverse movie as a genre now.
Yeah, I also love the fact that who made Superman versus Batman?
Zack?
Yeah, the Snyderverse. That's it. People are coping that this is not the end of the Snyderverse. They're like, no, this isn't at the end. It's still gonna make more. If we go see this movie, we'll show that the Snyderverse needs to live on. Like, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the first 4 movies only like barely made money, so surely this one will be the one.
Oh, absolutely, surely. They've also
like.
Good.
Have you seen like the trailer where they have like this giant battle on just a 100% flat dirt field?
Yup.
When people see that, are they ever like, huh? Well, someone decided to take the day off, didn't they?
Someone did point that out, and I'm very happy people did. They're like, oh no, I guess the film people thought that when we asked for less CG background fights, they took it literally. Like, that's not what we meant by less background CGI fights. We meant less background. Or less CGI.
Less CGI, not less background, more CGI.
Yeah, it looks so bad. Also, the Flashpoint comic is really cool. They fucked it up already. because in the Flashpoint, have you seen the
no way
Flash movie?
something in Zack Snyder's continuity messed up something from the comics. Come on now.
Have you seen the Flashpoint movie that was done, the animated one?
Oh God, no.
Okay, well, it's actually pretty well done. In the Flashpoint comic, what ends up happening is Aquaman and Wonder Woman are fighting for control. Superman lands in a government facility and is tested on, so he never like really goes outside, and he's like he's a weakened version basically. It doesn't have he doesn't have like the moral compass that he has usually. Right. Batman or Bruce Wayne gets shot, and Martha and his father end up becoming the Joker and Batman. Once again, his father has no moral reason not to use guns, so he now uses guns and kills people as like an actual vigilante. Okay. And then there's one other character, I can't remember who it is. The Green Lantern, I don't think, is ever found. He never gets the ring. Like, everything's basically just fucked up. And the main person behind everything is Reverse Flash. He's like fucking with Barry, being like, yeah, that's right, you fucked up everything, you fucking idiot, you dumbass. So they don't have Reverse Flash, which was already a bad start, because Reverse Flash is kind of what starts everything up. Instead, they brought back Zod for some reason. Yeah. They have a female Superman. Okay, I guess. I mean, it just feels like you just wanted another Superman, but didn't know how to make him Superman. There's Batman's dad, who just seems to be behaving like Batman usually does, and is quippy and quotable, which isn't Batman's character in the Flashpoint. Like, why? Why even do the comic if you're not going to be loyal to it?
I don't know about a quippy Batman. That doesn't sound like it.
It's not Batman's character. Batman's not quippy. Darth Vader's quippy, but
I did like in Spiderverse when oh God, I don't remember what it was. They're like walking through the Citadel, and they're like, "Oh yeah, does everyone have a joke?" And
oh yeah, and they have like a bunch of like little. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I love the pop-ups. By the way, they have like moments where they pop things up to explain things to the audience. I really like that.
Oh yeah, I always think those are good. Or like pretty, harmless.
The hammer space at the start was very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, I know we just went on a whole different tangent. I'm sorry about that ramble.
You're fine.
I think at this point
we're chilling.
Sure. I think at this point, Miguel and all the other Spider-Men are running after Miles. Miles eventually tricks them, has a plan the whole time, goes back to the Citadel, and goes to what he thinks is his homeworld.
Yeah.
It's a very tense moment, too.
I really zoned out.
Yeah.
For like the second half of the chase and everything that happens in like I don't know what you want to call it, like the portal room or the control room or whatever.
Yeah.
But once he got back to the world, I was zoned back in. So,
right. So what happened to catch you up? What happened was he used the machine checks your DNA to see which universe you belong into.
Mm-hmm.
Because his DNA has the Earth 42 Spider-Man in it, he goes to Earth 42.
Oh, right, of the other spider, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is the universe where, when we got here, Pat turned to me and was like, this isn't right. Something isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same exact time, I think at this point, Gwen gets sent back to her own timeline and goes to her father. And this is a touchy subject. So we're going to walk a fine line when talking about this.
All right.
Gwen
stuff.
And the trans allegory.
Allegory?
The trans allegory.
What's the allegory?
People believe that Spider-Gwen is trans.
Why?
So in her bedroom, she has a flag that says "Protect Trans Kids," and her father, a police officer, has a trans flag like support sticker etched into his uniform, like a handmade trans flag.
Right.
When she opens up to her father about her experiences and her personal life, the colors of the room become the shade of pink, blue, and white of the trans flag.
Ah.
Some folks say it's because that's her color of her suit.
Right.
That's possible. Some folks point to the other two pieces of details and then this as the third detail.
Okay.
Here is where I stick with it. If you want that to be your headcanon, go for it. There is enough info here to imply it for someone who wants to believe it. As well as the fact that her discussion with her father about accepting who she is like it clearly touches people from that community. I have a lot of personal friends who have a hard time explaining to their parents how they feel, and sometimes the parents don't really accept them for that, and it's rough.
Yeah.
And it's one of those difficult things to touch upon. Yes, a lot of the colors from that palette are in that world, but like you already have two pieces of detail that imply it, plus the discussion, plus the use of the color when she's talking about being accepted for who she is. It's something's there. I think it's silly to dog on somebody who believes that. Like, I don't like. What's the point of like telling someone that's not what's happening there? You know? What do you really benefit from that? What was that?
No, it's just I guess that might be it.
Right. Like
I said, I was zoned out at that point.
That's fair. That's fair.
Unfortunately.
But that's like a big thing people are getting on everyone's case about. Like, oh, it's clearly that. Oh, no, it's not that. Blah 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 blah. Here's the thing, if Gwen just straight up looked at the camera and said that she was trans, the discussion would not be this. The discussion would be, oh, I can't believe they completely butchered this character. At least from the side who's acting like it's not there. At least some of them. Not all of them, obviously, but some.
Right.
Yeah, let people have headcanons if they want. And if they were clearly subtle about it, and it's something that they at least wanted to touch upon, and I think that's very cute and important. I personally don't have any problems with it. I guess you were just zoned out.
Yeah, for the most part. Because when you had mentioned it to me yesterday, like, yeah, I didn't really like pick up on that, I guess.
Right.
So I was like, oh, is there? Do people think she's trans? I didn't see any, I don't think there's anything else anywhere else in the movie to really give you that, except for I guess the color palette of the world that she lives in. But
right, and once again, it's a story about her wanting to be accepted by her father for being different, which is a story that I think a lot of people can resonate with, not just trans people. I think that's
the issue is I think that's a story that like everyone can resonate with.
But I feel like the way it was delivered hits home mostly to those types of folks.
Gotcha.
And once again, it's a headcanon. If people want to believe that, that's totally fine. Like, what's the harm of saying? Like, what's the harm of believing it?
Yeah, no.
Unless you're, from going into Target and destroying things because it has rainbows, then I guess it harms you for some reason.
I hate rainbows.
God, I've been loving the videos of that going around, of people going to Target and just destroying stuff to the point where Target has to like reevaluate how they're gonna do like the Gay Pride Month.
Target cannot catch a break.
No, apparently
they're either getting looted or destroyed, and it's just
I can't fucking
whoever's more pissed off that week.
It's crazy. Apparently, what people will do, like crazy like conservative people, what they'll do is they'll go to Target, they'll grab a bunch of Gay Pride stuff, go to the line, start checking out, and then act like they forgot their wallet and leave. That's all they'll do. Like they will buy over $1,000 worth of clothing, which already is just, how the fuck do you do that? at Target, by the way.
At Target.
Um, and then they'll just leave. And it's like, you're not really owning the liberals with that one. You're just making a worker's life miserable.
Yeah.
Like, they already don't fold the clothes correctly. You're really going to make them have to put all those clothes back again?
They already don't know how to fold clothes.
No one at those stores. No one at those stores know how to fold clothes. I went to Walmart and saw a pile of clothing that all had different like layouts. Like it was the same stack, but they all had like different ways of folding the t-shirt. I'm like, how the fuck? What?
Oh, that's fun and creative.
Yeah. Wow. What a quirky way to fold clothing.
Yeah, it's just another one of those forms of protest that doesn't like
Do anything.
change anything,
No.
and like nobody is benefited, and it's just inconveniencing people. So
Yep.
whether you're doing that or like blocking traffic or throwing, soup on paintings, it's like, I don't know, dog.
Oh, the soup on paintings one is kind of interesting because it was apparently paid off by a oil company who was trying to like get people to laugh at them. Like it was like basically, you know how Blizzard will do a gay thing to hide a controversy?
Oh, of course, every time.
This is what they were doing with the oil, or that was the oil with the soup. It was the exact same
so
thing.
They paid somebody to do something dumb, so that people would side with the oil company.
Yep.
Oh, that's smart.
I like that. Right? That's so clever.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Because it worked.
It clearly worked.
Like, oh, these people are idiots. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at these fucking idiots as I fill my car with gasoline.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, how else am I gonna get around?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, Blizzards keeps taking fucking L's, man.
Yeah, I canceled my WoW Classic subscription because they added the WoW token back to Wrath the Lich King. And I'm like, oh.
The what?
Right. The WoW token? Do you know about any of that?
No, I don't.
Okay, so in 2015 they introduced the WoW token. They were having a hard time combating. Well, they say they were having a hard time combating bots and like real monetary
bots.
transactions.
Yeah, bots,
people buying gold. Yeah, exactly. So they put in a WoW token. You can buy it for $20. It's an in-game item, and you can use it to give yourself a month of game time. So you can try to earn your game time in game, but you can like buy and sell them on the auction house. So you can also just buy gold now. And people at the time didn't really like that. Something about being able to just pay to be more powerful in your game wasn't cool with them.
Yeah, that just sounds like a pay to win.
It does sound kind of pay to win in
it's
a
weird.
MMORPG. Yeah, it's a little lame.
Yeah.
Anyway, the bots in Wrath Classic have been a problem. So they're like, all right, well, we know how to solve that. So they brought the WoW token in. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well,
yeah, the WoW.
I'm playing this game.
That happened. The Overwatch 2 announcement of how they're completely changing the PvE and also removing the skill tree.
Removing.
What?
Removing.
Yeah, and also removing the skill tree thing to now the battle pass you have to pay for. Like, right. I had all.
It was, wait, it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it like always? There was always a battle pass, but now like they've just done away with the skill tree.
Well, no. What they're doing is they're attaching the skill tree to the battle pass. So whenever they do release the PvE, you have to get unlockables through the battle pass rather than just unlocking it naturally through the PvE. So the free-to-play game, you can still play the PvE, but now you have to use the battle pass to get upgrades for the PvE.
And it's the battle pass you have to pay for?
Yep.
Gotcha.
So as Walter said, they removed everything that they promised from the sequel.
No, I know about that.
Yeah.
So like my take, and this one's unpopular,
Ooh.
was that I was obviously disappointed, but I didn't care very much because they just gave Overwatch 2 to everyone who had Overwatch 1, and they got rid of the loot boxes, which I think is a good upgrade. So when they're like, yeah, this PvE thing we've been promising, we're just not going to do it, I was like, okay, that's super shitty, but it's not like I've lost anything.
Right.
You know?
And then
my understanding was that they're still going to do like PvP events, but they've always been doing PvP events, so I figured just nothing was changing at all.
Yeah, nothing really besides the PvE stuff got really scrapped. Also, the other big thing too is if you live in another country or you move to another country and you have any Pride skins, they remove it from your system now.
Oh, of course.
because obviously.
Yeah.
Which I think is really shitty because people paid money now for those skins, and now
Right,
you're telling them
can't have it in
you
those
can't have
countries.
them. Yep.
Mm.
That's just another level of shitty, honestly.
I wonder if it stays on your account if you like move back.
I hope. God, I hope.
Yeah. I guess I'd rather them take away my pride skins rather than me get thrown off a building, but you know, is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, it is what it is. You're safe. You're straight. It's okay.
Well, for now.
Well, for now, we'll see what happens. Speaking of seeing what happens, at this point now, Miles is what he thinks.
Back to the movie.
Yeah, he thinks he's in his own world and is at. He's had a lot of points where he's trying to like be honest with his mom and be like, hey, here's who I am, blah 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 blah. And what ends up happening is he opens up to her and she's just like, who? And the moment
literally opens up to her, like pulls his jacket open to reveal the Spider-Man suit.
And the moment there's been like a few little subtle hints that something's not right here, but then the moment that she says, "Oh, you just look like one of the people from Comic-Con," that was like the moment of, okay, something's clearly not right here. Because
that's when you lost it.
Yeah, because once again, Miles brings up the fact that he doesn't know what Comic-Con is because it doesn't exist in his world. Not to mention too that once he goes out of his room, he sees that his uncle Aaron is alive and is actually, is talking with his mom. For some reason, I thought that this implied that Aaron was now his dad, which for some reason, but I'm being stupid. But as the scene continues, I haven't really talked about this yet. The music and how it incorporates into this movie is fantastic. You know I love my music. When him and Aaron are going up the stairs, it plays that like ba 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 ba. Remember that? That is the same music that plays when Miles first gets the spider powers. In the first movie. It's the exact same tone. Which I really, I kind of called it like the confusion theme. Like, clearly something's not right.
Right. Things are changing or things are wrong.
There's also a thing in the first movie, and I forgot to talk about this, but I can get to it right now. There's these two leitmotifs in the movie. There's the spider leitmotif, and then the Destiny leitmotif. In the first one, anytime that like Miles reaches a key point in the journey, you get to hear the theme. One of the most prominent ones was when he's learning how to web swing, and you hear the ba ba da, like that theme. That is the journey theme, the theme that plays when he's going through his personal journey. When his dad is doing his speech, the first two notes of that theme starts playing, implying that his dad is also going on his own personal journey, which I think is really clever and a great way of retextualizing that music number. That it's not just for Miles, but it's for his family in general.
Wait, when? Like earlier on in the movie?
Way earlier on, when his dad's doing the speech, and he mentions his son and about
Spider-Man.
And he mentions how happy he is with when he's captain. I'm talking about the speech he does when he's captain.
Right, with Spider-Man, right?
Yeah. And he mentions
like the conversation they have by the like work or the construction site or whatever.
No. When he's having the party for him being captain, it's when Miles has the case.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
When he's having the whole speech about his son and everything about his position as captain, you hear the first two notes of the ba, like the ba ba. Like you hear the first two notes, but it never finishes. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I really like the retextualization of the music. And the other thing that's really cool is the reveal that this is the universe where there is no Spider-Man, so everything's basically crime. Like there's just crime everywhere. It's dirty. It's dark. It's a shithole, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to skip ahead right now because I have to talk about this. It's revealed that Uncle Aaron in this world isn't the Prowler. It's Miles. And that's interesting because if you remember from the first movie, when the Peter Parker that was like from that universe like senses that Miles is like him, the color palette for Miles is green and purple, which is very heavily associated with the Prowler. Miles was supposed to be the Prowler of that universe. Like, Aaron was supposed to die and he took his place. But because of the spider bite, the entire timeline basically got fucked up.
Right.
Which is such a like, it's one of those things again. It recontextualizes the first movie in just a subtle way.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to the analysis video that saw the foreshadowing since 2018. Wait, is that thing? What? No fucking way. I mean, it makes. You say that there's a video from 2018 that was suggesting that exact same thing. If that's the case, that's smart. Holy shit. There's a guy who called it. I'm proud of that guy. I mean, like, it's such a cool. Also the whole scene where he's now wrapped up like Peter B. Parker was, and it combined with Aaron playing some music, and then the shot of it being the exact same as it was in the first movie, but with like a more sinister color palette to it.
Yeah.
Like, there's such. I know I've been geeking out, but this movie has like little details like that that are just so cool to me. I guess that's like the big thing.
I don't know. They're all like really good details. I guess this movie just didn't work for me. I don't know what it is.
I think it's suffering from, like I told you, The Empire Strikes Back. Like, it's suffering from that, right? Where it's setting up a lot of stuff for the third movie, but because of that, it has a lot of slow moments.
I guess I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to give the vibe that I'm like an iPad kid who's like annoyed that the movie doesn't have an action scene every 10 minutes, especially with how much I like shit on Marvel for doing that.
Right.
And I don't know. I see what you're saying about like there being a lot of setup here and how that could be taking away from like a lot of the more exciting stuff that happens in this movie. People said similar things about the second Avatar movie, which, to be fair, has yet to be seen if that's the case or not. I'm skeptical personally, but we'll see. And yeah, I don't know. Like, hey, for what's worth, Empire Strikes Back is one of my favorite movies. I like it a lot. I guess it probably just didn't work for me, or just
like,
I'm just not very engaged. I'll give it a rewatch though, because I'm interested in like
now that I've pointed out like a lot of the
try.
details, I'm sure you can be like, oh, okay, I can see where that's going now.
Yeah.
And there's only really
this
like
has all helped, but none of this has been like for me
changing.
Has been like, oh my god, that's wild actually.
Yeah, I get you.
So,
I feel like there's only like really 3 big action scenes, which was the one with at the start, the one with the collider, and then the one where he's running away from all the Spider-Man. I think what could have really worked, because I haven't mentioned it, but Miguel and then 2 other spider people are keeping an eye on Miguel's universe. They don't realize he's in the wrong universe, so they're in the wrong timeline, trying to keep an eye on where he'll go.
Wait, like Gwen's in the wrong universe. Well, she's in Miles' actual universe.
She's in Miles' actual universe, but realizes like, oh fuck, he's in the wrong timeline.
Yeah, but she realizes it too late.
Yeah.
Well, I say too late. There's a whole nother movie. But
she basically explains to her parents like, hey, your son's missing, but I'm gonna go find him and I'll make sure he's okay. Which is a cute. I didn't expect them to have a scene together, but that was also very cute because it was kind of her like repenting for what she did. Like, she's kind of the catalyst to everything.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that her arc kind of. This is a Miles movie, but it's also kind of a Gwen movie because it kind of focuses a lot on her mistakes and her trying to repent for what she did.
Well, I had mentioned earlier that there's a group on Twitter that I've seen at least that kind of says that it seems like the movie focuses too much on Gwen, and or it's like Gwen seems to be more the main character in the Spider-Man movie. I don't usually subscribe to those arguments. I guess I don't really get it. Like, if anything, you could probably say it's poorly marketed, but I don't know. I don't have any issue with her being a major character in all of this, especially since it's like going to be 3 movies.
Not to mention that it still has Miles as like the main character. She just kind of goes on her own journey through this film.
Right.
And I
And
don't
like
think
if even if like she did have more screen time, yeah, it's not like it's not like Star Wars would be loved less if it was called like, the Tales of Luke Skywalker or something.
right.
And then everyone's like, oh no, Han and Leia were like really big, like the whole team. So they'd
'Cause
probably be pissed about the sequels and the prequels, but you know what I'm saying.
what's interesting too is that movie was never like, it's not just a Miles movie. The whole idea of this movie is that it talks about multiple timelines, multiple universes. So it
Right.
makes sense that it would touch on some other world. And
Yeah.
it makes the most sense to do Gwen because, like I said, besides Peter B, who at this point his arc is complete. Peter B. Parker's arc is done. He's married. He's happy. He has a kid. He feels prepared to raise that kid. Like his story's basically done. So focusing on the second most important character, who was Gwen, makes sense in this scenario of like how she's dealing with everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. So I definitely appreciate the movie for at least doing that. I think the third one will definitely be focusing on Miguel more and like his sort of behavior. But I was
Yeah,
gonna
think it's kinda
say,
gotta.
I feel like if they had like another action set piece as the finale, like we don't realize that the Prowler is Miles, and they have like a little fight scene before the Prowler catches Miles. Like, I feel like that could have tied the movie together a little better. Like one last little set piece to like see where everything is, and then like getting the sense that this version of Miles is like tougher or stronger.
Maybe like instead of getting like a
Immediately
one
kidnapped.
shot,
Yeah.
yeah, he like fights him off a little bit, but it's like it's not close.
No, not in the slightest.
Yeah.
think-
I got you.
I think that would have definitely helped.
I think I can. I think you might have a good point there.
Mm-hmm. But even still, I really appreciate the like clear, cold-hearted nature of this version of Miles. Where, and I brought this up too. They point out the fact that his dad is dead, and part of me is like, I think he did it. Like this version of Miles killed his own father.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like,
Same way, like in the first one, the Prowler almost got Miles.
yeah, because that would make sense of why he doesn't care about this version of Miles trying to go save his father. Because he says like, yeah, what about it? Like he has like no care about the fact that his father might die in another universe. I feel like that's what that's setting up, because that feels way too like that just feels right.
I gotcha.
Hi Melody, welcome to you just missed the end. We're talking about Spiderverse. We're just wrapping up actually. I mean, like, I know you aren't really a big fan of this movie, but I feel like this is just like, I'm putting it up there personally with like Shrek 2. Like,
I gotcha.
in the sense of like, it does everything the sequel should do, and I appreciate it for that reason.
I think even after this little description, like trying to remain objective best I can, I still feel like I think the first one is better overall. But
it's tough for me.
I guess not for you. Okay.
Well, no, I really, really find the first one fun, and I think it stands alone better. I feel like you really need to have context of the first one to enjoy the sequel. And I feel like that might weigh it down just a little bit.
Maybe.
Because like I said, there's a lot of stuff that the second movie... I don't know if there's a hot take, but Shrek 4 is better than Shrek 2.
That is a hot take.
That is a hot take. It's not one I agree with, but I could see where you come from. Actually, that's a great example. You bring up a great point, Will Joe. I think the first one has one really, really amazing scene, which is the "What's Up, Danger" moment, and has a lot of good scenes, right?
Okay.
I feel like this one is just great. Like, it just does everything great. There's not a moment that I think of and go, That's beautiful. Like that is a beautiful moment of like a character's full point.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of Spider-Verse 1, I think of the What's Up Danger scene. When I think of this movie, I'm like remembering moments. Like loosely together moments. Not that any of them are bad, but all of them are just good.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's like
I don't really know what to add to that. I mean, like, obviously, like, I believe you. I'm glad it works out. So it's working so well for you. Like,
yeah.
you seem to really like it. That's
I
great.
mean, I was very much like on the nose about everything. I kind of kept my nose onto what's going on with the movie. Like, I guess I was more invested than I first thought I would was.
You're definitely more invested than I.
Yeah, and I think that my bias might be shown just a little bit.
Maybe.
Uh,
Well, like I said, because the more I'm hearing about, the more I'm like, yeah, that is all good stuff, isn't
mm,
it? But I guess The
you,
Godfather is also a movie that's really good that doesn't resonate particularly well with me.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but like I said, I do want to give it another chance.
Like Will
So,
Joe said, it's okay to be a hater sometimes. You're allowed to be a hater. It's okay.
oh, thank you.
It's gonna have it's what you guys what are you even talking about? I missed what's
Just so
WhatsApp
we're
danger?
clear. What's up, Danger?
What's app danger?
Yeah, what's up, Danger? Yeah,
God, I love
you guys are saying the same thing.
I fucking love the whole idea of that scene where like the shot of all the buildings are on one point and they're all like the buildings can't realistically exist, but it doesn't matter because the shot is just so cool for it.
Mm-hmm.
God.
That's very artsy.
Well, yeah, yeah. It was like I think that's like that was also the scene that they showed like as like a trailer for the movie, right?
I think it was in the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, which is very smart of them.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I will give this movie personally. This is the end of the review, but I will personally give this movie. I'll give this the original Spider-Man animated series out of itself. You know, like a fun experience that's very enjoyable. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Like the original animated.
I think I'm picking that up.
I did
I
like
think I
this.
got you.
I did like that cameo where he's like, "Anything you could do, I could do better." Oh, I missed.
Yeah.
What are you gonna give this bad boy?
I thought it was fun seeing all of the
The different Spider-Man.
you yeah, and like
I like.
putting in like a couple scenes from like the live action Spider-Mans.
Yeah. I
I like
also.
to imagine what these animated characters think when they see them.
Well, I
There's
have
like,
some great news for you. Apparently, Miles is going to be in the Secret Wars, so he's going to be live action,
oh,
which seems like you're
so
missing
you
the
said you had
point.
good news for me. When is that coming?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it's kind of missing the point if you try to. Apparently, they also try to do a live action scene for this movie, but then they're like, "Oh no, this is stupid and dumb. We're not doing that."
Yeah,
And
I
now,
had read that today, and I was like, huh, I wonder. I trust them. I'm
yeah,
like, I wonder what that looked like.
and
Like, I'd
I'm
be interested to just see that released on YouTube, you know?
and now Marvel's like, "Oh, we're gonna do that exact thing." And I'm just like, "Well, if these
Right.
two did it, who are clearly
Marvel's
more."
like, wait, something stupid and dumb? Hell yeah, that's right up our
Fuck
alley.
yeah, we love doing that. Dude, I remember seeing people were comparing the Guardians of the Galaxy to one moment where Peter's dancing to the She-Hulk moment when she's dancing. Go like, if you like this moment, you have to also like this moment. No,
Oh yeah, all right.
no, that's not how that works at all.
What do you mean? They both feature character dancing. It's
Oh,
exactly the
you're
same
right. How silly
scene.
of me. How silly of me.
There's
Sorry,
literally no difference.
I didn't mean to step on your toes there. What are you giving this movie?
Oh, hang on one second.
Be very careful here. This could mean the end of your career. I think he actually did leave.
That wasn't me procrastinating my answer. I was interrupted.
I see.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I give this one a 2 million Spider-Man.
2
That's how many
million
there were.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
That's
my
so many
grade for it.
Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And I don't know how many there are. It's a multiverse.
that's true.
So
That's
it's
true.
probably infinite, but
Yeah.
I am interested for this movie to come out to like try to get a little bit
On
deeper
legal
in like
platforms.
yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I figured
Right.
I'd buy the Blu-ray or something.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, like really look into like everything they say about multiverse and see how good they are about it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Well, I'm glad we had this. We had this little discussion.
Yeah, I'm
Before I,
glad we had this one too.
before we go, I forgot I have one actual fun fact, fun news, fun not fun
Oh,
fact, fun
okay.
news. Just today, they released. I've talked to you about Lisa before, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Lisa the
yeah.
Painful. They
Yeah.
just announced a remaster for both the first game and its DLC
Ooh.
for $20 on every fucking platform.
Ooh.
So,
Jeez. All right. That's
yeah,
awesome.
now you have no reason not to play it. It is on
Well,
every
now I have no
platform.
reason not to play it. Yeah.
And I'm so happy. It's on the Switch. It came out on the Switch before Mother 3, the game it was inspired by, came out on the Switch. Fucking Earthbound fans seething right now. I was so happy to see that news. You know what? I've just been in a good mood lately. We have to stop this. We need to see a bad movie.
No, we can be in a good mood. I'm sure something will go bad on its own.
Well, what movies are coming out next month? We got anything good?
I feel like we had something tentatively planned, but I don't remember what that was now. So let me try to
Was
think.
it The
What else is
Flash?
coming out? It could be. Um, yeah, we could do the Flash if you want to. I don't have any issue with that. What else is
Well,
happening?
Craven the Hunter is coming out. Well, that's not till next
I don't know anything. Oh, okay. Was there? Ah, jeez. I swear I had something, but it's totally gone right now.
Oh, Asteroid City. Fuck yeah, we're watching Asteroid City. Absolutely.
Which one's that?
That's the next Wes Anderson film.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I fucking love Wes Anderson. You know that.
I do know that. Yeah. I guess I'll have to watch all of them to like catch
Have you
up.
have you not?
Seen every Wes Anderson film?
How have you not seen every Wes Anderson film? What the fuck's wrong with you?
I
How dare you? How fucking dare you?
am I like disqualified from?
This is like the argument people have when people learn that I've never seen The Matrix. Like, oh, your film discussion opinions are invalidated now.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because we have The Matrix is like the one movie. Like,
Wait, the only thing I know about that movie is that the main actor is hot. Of what movie? What are you talking about?
wait, what? The Matrix? I mean, Keanu's alright, but
Yeah, Keanu I'd smash.
all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Wes Anderson. I have seen 2 of these movies.
Are you fucking kidding me? Which two have you seen?
Fantastic Mr. Fox and Isle of Dogs.
Okay. So you've seen his most mid movies.
Really? Well, you're the one who showed me Fantastic Mr. Fox. So
I
it's
really
largely
liked
your fault.
I really liked Fantastic Mr. Fox, and then I watched some of his other stuff. I'm like, holy shit.
Should I go in order or should I just?
I think you should watch The Grand Budapest Hotel,
All right.
The French Dispatch, and
Okay.
rewatch Isle of Dogs.
Okay. So the 3 most recent ones. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
I really think the Budapest Hotel is his best work. Like, if I had to organize the movies, it'd be Grand Budapest, Isle of Dogs, French Dispatch, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think that's the order of them for me.
Right.
Like, I like the French Dispatch, but it's also like, how do I put this nicely? It's not one movie, it's 4 movies.
Kind of jammed together.
Yeah, the whole idea of it's supposed to be like it's supposed to act like the book. Like, so the French Dispatch is like this magazine series.
Okay.
And so because of that, the movie is supposed to be formatted like the magazine. So it has multiple writers telling multiple stories,
I gotcha.
which is
That's fun.
nice. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think that about wraps up this episode. Do you have any closing remarks or anything?
I don't think so. I wanted to let you know, I don't know if I told you before, but like I ended up subscribing to Movie Pass.
Oh,
So
nice.
I yeah, so I pretty much need an excuse to go to at least 2 movies per month now. So
Well,
yeah, if you want to see this one that's coming out, we can absolutely do
I
that.
absolutely will. And we might bring Pat on because Pat has seen all of Wes Anderson's too, and he's a big
Oh
fan
yeah,
of his
absolutely.
work.
Bring Pat
So
on. I like Pat.
we'll bring Pat on here. So yeah, I think that about covers it. Thank you all so much for listening and watching. Uh, Remember to subscribe to the YouTube or check me out on Twitch. You can find me on Twitter as well, I suppose, if you want to see me post Duck Hunt clips. James, where can they find you besides out in the middle of the woods?
Oh, they can find me here.
Ah, just here, nowhere else on the internet.
I have a Twitter, but I only retweet garbage that I think is funny. And I have a YouTube, but I haven't put anything on that in literal years. And the stuff
So
that is there is like League of Legends clips. So
you're basically
yeah,
worthless on the internet. Point.
basically worthless on the internet. I'm on Discord if you like
That's
being
cool.
a gamer. Yeah,
Gamer.
yeah. If you're a big gamer, bro. Yeah.
Well, I think with that, I think we can end the stream and end the episode. Goodbye, everybody.
Have a good night.
Goodbye.